How's it going, guys? So this is my first official video of Scam and Score. So for the scam, I want to talk about the auto industry today. There's been lots of improvements in fuel economy, more environmentally conscious, which is nice. But man, especially in America, they are sacrificing so much quality and creating cars that are designed to break down. This was not the case up until maybe 10-15 years ago. You just see these cars that, the build quality is so low. The metal on the body panels is paper thin. Just low quality materials, and it's not right. Aside from a house, a car is the second most expensive thing that people buy typically. It's an investment. It's supposed to be something that you can rely on. The electric car business has certainly shaken things up. There are some very good examples of those and some not so good examples of those. Another thing that's made it tougher on the average consumer is the used car market. What was it? Maybe 15 years ago, the federal government did the Cash for Clunkers program. So millions of Americans all over the country turned in, clunkers that were actually, very solid, reliable cars. What the government did with them, they would give the consumer a $4,000 check, and then they would destroy that car. They poured, I think it was liquid gas into the motors, and or liquid glass, excuse me, and they would run them, and the motors would seize up, and that's it. From there on out, it's scrap metal. Lots of older people thought they were just getting a great deal, and what happened was millions of Americans traded in well-made, reliable vehicles for a few $1,000s so they could buy a new Hyundai. And if you look around, you don't see too many Hyundais from 2007, 2008, whenever that was done exactly. But now it's harder to get a reliable used car. Everything is pushing you to buy new cars. In this country, safety has created so many new standards for crash sensors, backup cameras, radar assisted cruise control, all these things that is impressive technology, but for the average consumer, it's just more expensive parts that will fail, that will definitely hurt your pocket when it comes time to replace them. And another beef I have with that is, while it might make, the road safer, people are forgetting how to drive. People are forgetting how to use their mirrors. They're forgetting to pay attention to the road because they're just trusting all of these systems to do everything for them, And I just don't think that's right. I have a 2020 Toyota. It's a RAV4. It's supposed to be a basic car, and it is, but it's got radar assisted cruise control, collision sensors, backup sensors. So all that stuff is stuff that's going to break. And what bothers me even more than that is a headlight assembly for that car is $1,700 or more. So, these are supposed to be, basic cars for the everyman. But, God forbid someone, hits your car with a baseball or something, or you get in a small fender bender or whatever, And if you don't want to make an insurance claim, you've got to reach into your pocket for some serious money, which hurts. My next vehicle, I actually plan on getting something older and simpler. Something that I know is going to run for, another 5 years with just basic maintenance. I'll probably try and get, some sort of Toyota truck or SUV from the early 2000s, um, and that's how you're going to get value. But man, for the average person, the new car market is crazy. Jeeps used to be a car for the regular person, and now a Jeep Wranglers, I think they start at like 48,000, with nothing, which a car like that doesn't even exist. They don't even put, base model cars on the lot. They sell them to the dealership with all these packages, and there's different tiers of, what you're getting. And I mean, that's sad, for a pickup truck, if you want to do some work with it, I mean, it's not really worth buying a mid-sized truck like a Tacoma. So you're looking at, a half-ton truck, and up. And the market for those is crazy. The cheapest half-ton trucks these days, I think they start, around 50,000, bare bones, if you're lucky. God forbid you have to get a 1-ton truck. You're spending a minimum of like 75 grand, and it's bizarre. You better have a plan to make some money with it, or you better be wealthy, because it's absurd. So enough about the car industry. That's my scam for today. Obviously, there is still value to be had. Like I said, used cars, I think is the ultimate way to go value-wise. There are still companies making reliable cars, but man, it's tough out there. Toyota has a truck that is so basic, and it doesn't have any extras. It's got air conditioning and roll down windows, and it's made to be modular and modified, and applicable for just about anything you could think of. And I think the sticker on it's like $12,000. You know what I mean? And that'll never be available in the States. Doesn't have enough safety equipment. It would destroy the new truck market. Who would buy a $50,000 F-150 if they could get the job done with a $12,000 Toyota? And that's really sad. This country used to be a place where people could get really good stuff. Even just a regular person, if you worked, you could acquire quality equipment. So enough with that. That's the scam for today. Onto the score, something a little bit more basic. And I can go into depth in what I have, but for the score today, a good watch. Get a good watch. It doesn't have to be a dive watch. I've got the big ugly Citizen Ecozilla, and it is ugly, but it's also bulletproof. I tapped the crystal on this, and it's like bulletproof glass. It's pretty amazing. If the bombs fell today, this would be the watch that I'd want to have on. It doesn't require batteries, durable as all hell. It's got a dive timer, which is just essentially like a stopwatch, or just to keep track of time that goes by. It does not use batteries. It's solar powered. It's got looms on it. I don't know if you can see, but they stay bright constantly. I can wake up at any point during the night, if I'm wearing my watch, look at my wrist, and I've got the time. So I'm not a huge watch guy. I do like watches. It'd be cool to own a Rolex, but I'm not snooty. You can see me out with a Timex on, and they work just fine. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good watch, but I think it's good to have. I don't think we value our time enough. I think that especially corporate businesses, they've managed to put the weight on the customer. You know what I mean? Instead of providing value with convenience, now you call up a company for customer service, and you don't even talk to a person. You jump through an AI assistant, who doesn't understand what you're saying. Any background noise, she's gonna, not she's gonna think you're talking to her, but she can't understand it, and it's awful. So I think it's important to get good quality for what you have. It's important to pay attention to time. Time is our greatest resource, and I think that most people are far too free with it. I think that the key to a good life, or at least one of the keys to a good life, is time management. So get a decent watch, think about your time. A lot of celebrities and rich people will, wear a Rolex as a sign of, my time is valuable, and they're not wrong, but it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to, you don't have to, you don't have to look like a celebrity or a rapper or, some criminal mastermind. Get a Timex. Just be wary of what you're doing with your time, and try and spend it productively. It's been the first episode, the first video of the Scam and Score series. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit me in the comments or even DMs with suggestions. I do want to get to know you guys. I want to offer valuable content, and I want you to enjoy our time together. Like I said, time is valuable. I don't want to waste my time or your time. I want to provide value all around. So, that said, I'll see you guys next video. We'll talk about another scam and another score. Thanks.